Hey everyone, welcome to In and Out of Reach. In case you are unaware of what this channel is about, I will be posting, I don't know if you would say sermons or what, but these are about like 10 to 12 to 15 minute videos. Me help guiding you to a church, but not just a church, a biblically foundational church. But also that you have a relationship with God, so that you know and that you can discern for yourself what a church is. And you know what? Who cares if we only have one subscriber? Who cares? At least one. That's okay. You know, we can have 0 subscribers and have 500 likes or 500 views. Who cares? It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Okay, so there we go. The joys of having a phone where you can pause the recording and write down the scripture before you forget. So today we will be looking at Matthew chapter 7, verses 13 through 19. And then 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verses 8 through 10. And what I will be doing differently this time, actually, I will be doing a contrast to give you the NIV Study Bible version, and I can give you the New American Standard Bible version. I love the I like the NASB or NASB version. I do. It's really enjoyable. So let's go back to Matthew. Okay, so Matthew. Okay, so Matthew chapter 7, verses 13 through 19. Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the. Before I forget, I'm reading right now. I'm reading from the NIV Study Bible. So 13 says, "Enter through the narrow gate." Verse 13. For wide is the gate, and broad is the road that leads to destruction. You see here, it's already been planned out for us by the breath of God. Broad, meaning your stance. You can't live a worldly life and live for God. You can't do that. It says right there. That leads to destruction, and many enter through it. 14 says this, but small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it. Meaning, only a few find the way to Jesus. I really don't want I don't want to get this mixed up because I don't want to mix up. Then I'm gonna be in trouble with the big man upstairs. But yeah. 14 says, but small is the gate, and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few that find it. Meaning, again, if your stance is broad, if you accept everything morally and try to live for God, it doesn't work like that. You gotta be careful with what you see and hear. You gotta. 15 says, watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. 16. By their fruit you will recognize them. Do people pick grapes from thorn bushes, or figs from thistles? 17 says this, Likewise, every good tree bears good fruit, but a bad tree bears bad fruit. 18. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. 19 says this: every tree that does not bear fruit, does not bear good fruit, is cut down and thrown into the fire. So then let's take a look at what the New American Standard Version says. The joys of having a Bible app on your phone, I'll be honest, it's a lot faster than just flipping through pages. But hey, guess what? It's still worth it going through pages. Okay. So let's go back to the beginning for the New American Standard Bible. Enter through the narrow gate, for the gate is wide and the way is broad that leads to destruction, and there are many who enter through it. 14. For the gate is small and the way is narrow that leads to life, and there are few who find it. A tree and its fruit. 15. Beware of the false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. You will know them by their fruits. Grapes are not gathered from thorn bushes, nor figs from thistles are they. 17. So every good tree bears good fruit, but the bad tree bears bad fruit. A good tree cannot produce bad fruit. 18. Nor can a bad tree produce good fruit. 19. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. So I have a question for you. Do you see are you contrasting any of this right now? I'm ever told wolves and ravenous clothings, and though, and it's like, correct me if I should have had it with me here, but think of this verse. What is a profit of man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? I know that's in Luke. Forgot the chapter. I should have thought about it, but I really like that verse because, if you're after popularity and success, that's only going to get you 50% there, but it's not going to get you home. That's not really going to get you anywhere. You'll have these small items, but they're not pleasing to God. They're not pleasing to God. You got to think biblically. If I'm not saying I don't know if we are in the end times. And I don't want to admit it because, again, I don't want to be so obsessed with the signs I forget my relationship with God. But you got to pay attention around you. There are people that you may not see it, you may not recognize it, but there are people that actually do dress up in sheep's clothing. And people have pointed out here and there they're bad fruits, but those people are judged. Those people have been judged and criticized by other people by saying, "Nah, you're wrong. You're wrong." Well, then let's go to 1 Corinthians 2, verses 8 and 10. For the NIV Study Bible, then we will contrast from the New American Standard Bible. Okay, there we go. Let's see here. Okay. Starting at 8 on the NIV Study Bible. Okay, hang on. I forgot to do this, but let's start off with a word of prayer before I continue. Dear God, just give me the words I need to say. I know I forgot to start out the prayer, but God, just please speak to people's hearts, Lord, that they will know who you are in the word I read them. That they will get closer to you, that they know you more in this contrast between the New American Standard Bible and the NIV Study Bible. That they will pick something up from this. Just give me the words I need to say to them. Help them to get closer to you. And only you, not me. I don't want them to follow me, I want them to follow you. For it is in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Okay, so number 8 says this: none of the rulers of this age understood it, for if they had, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. However, as it is written, what no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, and what no human mind has conceived, the things God has prepared for those who love Him. Okay, let's stop right there. Do you love God? Do you actually love God? Because if you love God, you know you want to be doing the following: grave soaking, being drunk in the Spirit, and these are practices taught by Bethel Church. You wouldn't be doing that. If you really love God, you wouldn't be doing that. Then verse 10 says this: these are the things God has revealed to us by the Spirit. And what did it say before that? In verse 9 it says this: however, as it is written, what no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, what no human mind has conceived, the things God has prepared for those who love Him. Those who love God. Think about that. Do you love God? Do you love Him? That's the question I want to ask you. How much do you love God? Do you love God enough to stop these practices, these insecurities that you've made of yourself? You're very insecure if you think you can soak up someone's soul from hell. You can't do that. Only God is the judge. You can't soak up no souls. You can't bear no lessons from nobody, from the dead, nor the living. You're human. But also, there's a battle you can't see that is being waged for your soul between God and Satan himself. Oh wait, we can't say Satan anymore. Yes, we should. So the New American Standard Bible says this. At verse 8, the wisdom which none of the rulers of this age has understood. For if they had understood it, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. Verse 9. But just as it is written, things which eye has not seen and ear has not heard, and which have not entered the heart of man, all that God has prepared for those who love Him. Verse 10. For to us God revealed them through the Spirit. For the Spirit searches all things, even the depths of God. God is really naked to our eyes. We can't see God. He's naked to the human eye. We can't see God. But you know, here are people, again, that will go around, that they will deceive you. People are going to deceive you. And you know what? You need a biblical foundational church. You need a church that's really rooted in biblical theology. A biblical church. That's one thing that you need. One thing, but most of all, you need a relationship with God. It is through salvation. It is through your faith and salvation that you put your trust in God to save you. God will save you. God will forgive you of your sins if you just allow Him to. And when we're told, if the gate is wide, broad leads to destruction. The gate is small, life. You got to change your stance. You can't be worldly and think you're going to go to heaven. Because not all of us will be in heaven. We may not want to hear that, but God wants all of us in heaven, but He's given us that choice. Sad to see some of those have abused that. So again, I just want you to think. I want you to go back and replay that. What did these scriptures say to me? How does this apply to my life? Am I listening to people that want my money, that think I'm blessed? You are blessed to a certain extent. But again, I just want you to think about these things. Just a second on the time here. We're at 15 minutes. I don't want to bore you to death, but yeah. Not bore you to death. I just don't. I don't want you to, not bore you. But yeah, just think about these things. Think about what's been said in God's Word. I've said what I need to say, but you need to follow God's Word. Not really what I tell you. You need to follow what this says and what His Bible says. Again, thank you for listening. Have a great day.